Hello everybody and welcome back to this beginner playthrough where we are going through Europa Universalis and trying to teach the game, right? We're not playing the game, we're teaching the game as best as we can here. And it's something that I need to continue to practice, right? And after we're done with this series, we'll start on another one. There'll be another episode, maybe not as the Ottomans, but maybe we'll play as France, or maybe we'll play as England, or maybe we'll play as Muscovy up here, a nation that is a really good beginner nation, prime for forming Russia. Maybe we'll play as Castile, right? We've done Portugal. Now we're doing the Ottomans, and we're just going to create a library of tutorials that people can essentially sort of be able to reference the different flavors of tutorial that they want, and we can continue to try to improve, because I do actively believe that this game is so complicated that it's not just about an expert teaching someone that's not an expert. It is about learning how to teach the game better, learning how to connect more with people that are new to the game. And I think in some ways we've succeeded in that. And in some ways, I think we failed at that. And that's why we need to continue to practice, right? We need to continue to practice. This is kind of like a Let's Play, but it's very like, we're going through step by step. The last few episodes have been kind of fast, but at the same time, we're kind of just repeating our processes, right? We're going through getting claims, right? Justification for war. We have a claim on this province. We can see that in the diplomatic map mode. We have claims on this. This is rightfully our land, so to speak. We have a reason to go to war. We have a casus belli. Go to war. We built up a casus belli on Albania. We noticed they had no alliances, and they didn't have a truce with us. They had no alliances, and we wanted to attack them before they could build up an alliance network, right? They might have been trying to butter up Aragon or butter up Austria. Who knows, right? So swooping in there before they could do that and removing them from the game before they can do that is going to be fantastic for us. So we are about to attack these guys here to finish a mission, because we have a finish to consolidate Greece. And then we're also going to try to move over here and fight Karaman to consolidate Asia Minor. They are defended, though, by Crimea and by AQ, and we're much more powerful than those guys combined, but that's still a little bit more scary than anything that's happened so far. AQ is allied to these dudes and these dudes. That's going to be a little bit of tension. That is going to be a little bit of tension between the Mamluks and AQ, because Mamluks are going to want to conquer these guys most likely, and they're going to want to conquer these guys most likely, just like we want to, right? So AQ is going to get caught in the middle of some bad situations here, I suspect. But it looks like QQ is actually being ravaged by the Mamluks right now, so maybe AQ is going to survive for a little bit longer. Crimea is not a particularly scary nation, and we're also sort of positioned. We have an outpost out here that we're going to be able to sort of attack into them very swiftly and quickly. In fact, I'm actually kind of wondering, though, what happens if we actually attack them directly? Well, they're allied to Kazan, so that would get Kazan in the fight. I don't know who's sort of like... Kazan and AQ are probably equivalent, but we've noticed actually that Kazan... We haven't looked at Kazan, but we know AQ is actually doing really poorly right now. Doing really, really poorly. If we search for AQ, we'll get... we could see they have no troops. They only have 2,000 troops. If we search for Kazan, however, Kazan has 16,000 troops, so they're actually doing... They're pretty healthy over there. These guys are pretty healthy. AQ, not so much. Not so much. So basically, let's get the show on the road. Let's go to war with the Pope. Attacking these guys. A little bastion of Christianity. Actually, they're Orthodox, but actually, okay, this is interesting. We click on their nation, their Greek culture. It says that the province is Orthodox, but the state is Catholic. So there's a disconnect between the people and the local people and the government state. This is a Catholic Crusader nation, right? That's why the Pope likes them. But fundamentally, the people that live here will actually be kind of liberating these people in a sense. At least that's what we can tell ourselves. Because quite honestly, these guys are Orthodox, and we already have a bunch of Orthodox people in our country, and they can join the ranks. We can let these people just sort of join up and join the ranks, and it'll be great. I quickly, sneakily grabbed our transports and moving them down here just to be a buffer for this battle, because we are about to potentially have a naval battle here. We've lost our... No, we didn't. Sorry. We didn't lose our naval general. We just assigned him to the trade fleet. Let's move him to the actual battle fleet here with the galleys, and let's attack. Let's get right into it. Let's go, go, go. Papal State's joining. That's totally fine. Don't even need to look at their troops or anything. Papal State's way over here. What is the Papal State realistically going to do? We're going to be able to send our navy up here and blockade the Papal State quite easily. Quite easily. We're going to step here. A few things are going to happen. We're going to step here, unify our troops here, and we're going to do a big battle and basically just try to wipe out these guys here. Now, there is going to be a straight crossing penalty, and we can see we don't even have our general here. That's kind of a bummer, but we are just outnumbering them 5-1, so it should be fine. Not a good battle. We got a -2 because of the straight crossing, but again, we're just so militarily superior to these guys. I'm going to leave 2,000. Let's hit that twice. Detach siege 2 times. Leave 2,000 dudes in case they take a little attrition. We'll come over here. We'll detach a siege, and then we'll move these guys off, and there you go. That war is won, sort of, kind of. The Pope is going to be doing what they can to blockade us and a number of different sort of things and stuff. Wait a second, did something just happen to Karaman? They're at war with Cyprus and the Knights. That's interesting. How are they doing that exactly? Hamlets are guaranteeing the independence of Cyprus, but yet these guys have just attacked Cyprus? I'd be very impressed. This is kind of interesting because there's realistically no way these guys can win the war. They've looked in basically you know what the AI has done here? AI is fighting Cyprus, right? And the Knights. And you might be thinking, oh, the Knights, Cyprus, they don't seem very powerful. It does seem like Karaman's more powerful, and Karaman is. They have 10,000 troops here with a really good general, a 1/6 general. Holy cow, that shock damage, really, really important in the early game. Really, really, really important stat. That's like damage, you know what I mean? Like you go into the shock phase with the +6, whew, you're going to do some damage. So this is scary. That's a scary unit right there. And that's what they're assessing. They're saying like, hey, our army is scary. The problem is they're not assessing their navy. There's realistically no way that they're going to be able to land on Cyprus. It's just not going to happen. In fact, just out of curiosity, let's do some research. Karaman. What are we looking at, Karaman? You have 10,000 troops. Okay, cool. Cyprus has only 1,000 troops. So they have no army. I don't know why the AI is struggling with that. They're probably going to be building an army now that they're at war, right? I don't know. There's to be fair, guys, we are making this patch with 1.3, and 1.3 is not working properly. 100% it is not working properly, but everything we're going through, all the decisions we're making, is still grounded in the thematic situation of where we're at. So even though there is going to be a lot of hot fixes for the patch, and the game is kind of pseudo-broken right now, like, it doesn't make sense that Cyprus only has 1,000 troops. That makes no... Cyprus should have a standing army to defend themselves, to deter enemies, to deter people from Karaman from attacking them. This should never happen. Karaman should never attack these guys. Like right now, like the Knights only have 2,000 troops. They have a force limit of 7,000. You'd expect them to be more at 80% of their force, 85% of their force limit. So the game is fundamentally not working properly right now. I don't know why. There's just some balance issues, some things they have to hotfix out. But if we look at their navies, holy cow. They have 11,000 ships, including 5 galleys. If we look at Cyprus here. Cyprus has 5 more galleys. That's 10 galleys. These guys only have 4 galleys. They're not going to do nothing. They're not going to do nothing. Again, the galleys are what win the naval battles in the inland seas. They're cheap and effective. So unfortunately for Karaman, yeah, they're going to start getting blockaded. They're actually going to start losing the war. They're going to start losing the war now rather than winning it. It'd be interesting to know if Cyprus actually... I don't think... Cyprus can't take a land, though, because for Cyprus to take a land against Karaman, they have to do an actual invasion, a naval invasion, an amphibious assault onto Karaman's land. So this is literally going to be a giant 10-year white peace. Like they're just going to stay at war for 10 years, and then maybe Karaman will pay like some money or something to get Cyprus to be happy. We can lose some ducats here, gain a lot of legalism, which I think we determined is a good thing, right? How are we doing on our legalism right now, actually? We're at 100 legalism. Holy cow. Or we just moved towards mysticism, make Dimmy happy. It also gives us prestige, which we don't really need. See, if we get this legalism, we'd be paying... Right now, this is just paying for prestige, which we don't need. Paying for prestige. Although, and to avoid taking the hit of mysticism. So we're going to either go down 20 legalism. I think what we do here, to be honest, is we actually do that thing we talked about last time in debasing our currency. We add some corruption. And we go back to our piety. We hit this button because now we don't even have a means of gaining more legalism. We kind of want the ability to build more legalism. So let's do that. That gets rid of the corruption. It brings us down to 50 legalism. And now we'll spend a small percentage of that money to boost that back up to 70, and it can hopefully sort of keep going back the way we want it to go, and we can gain a benefit. So we've basically used our legalism for money, and now we're going to keep pushing it. Now we have room to kind of continue to have it grow, right? When you're max prestige, the problem is the only way for this, like the only direction the prestige can go now is down. So it's like, yeah, it seems cool that we got some prestige, but we only got 12 because we're at 88. Max is 100. We just earned 20, but we only had room for 12. So it was inefficient. So it's actually good to allow yourself to be able to actually benefit from things by not completely maxing out on all this stuff all the time. Although max prestige gives us a lot of benefits. So I'm not saying if we're not upset to be at 100 prestige, but with the legalism, there's a reason that you do want to kind of like do that little mini game of debasing your currency, getting some money, doing that, because now we can spend this currency and we can continue to develop our country by building mosques. And guys, I took it for granted. No. Guys, when you want to build a building, you go to the production interface, right? I can see mosque here. Increases local tax modifier by 40%. I can click on that. This over here shows the provinces and orders it by most effective. You can see these ones down here. 0.06. Not very good. It's telling us that these provinces really don't have a lot of base tax, really, right? They don't have, like, they're not going to get, we don't get many taxes from them at all. So 40% of a low number is still a low number, right? But 40% of a larger number is, well, a larger number. So it's saying that if we actually build it in these provinces here, we'll get a better benefit. The thing I'm looking at here is that they have enough build slots. We don't want to use all of our build slots. We want to make sure that we have available build slots for really important higher level buildings later on. So like 4 available build slots, 0.13 ducats per month. Perfect. These are perfect places to build mosques. So we'll continue to do that there. That's what we're doing. I'm not going through and looking and trying to find, okay, how much do I get here? How much do I get here? Doing the math myself or I'm not looking at the map at all. I'm not looking at this complicated map at all. I'm just looking at this builder here, and this is just telling me, hey, look, boom, boom, boom. Man, when they added that a few years ago, that was like a life-changing addition of the game. It used to be you had to look through your country and sort of like manually figure that out. So that is nice to see that is the way that it is. But I took it for granted, not explaining that enough. So I apologize, guys. We have 4,000 people here sieging down Albania. We have 4,000 people here sieging down Epirus. We're going to move these 12,000 troops over here so they're standing by to attack Karaman. We are eventually going to shuffle some of these guys over, but I want to keep some of these guys up here because they are going to be sort of wiping out Crimea. We can see Crimea has a capital fort, but they don't have an actual castle. The reason why I know that is because Crimea was their castle. We took their castle. They could build another one, but the AI typically doesn't have the economy to be able to build something as expensive as castles. 200 ducats. And it costs a lot to maintain too. So usually if you take their castles, they don't usually build more. They can, it's possible, but they don't usually do it. So they have just 1,000 garrison here. That's just because this is their capital. There's a new capital. It's been moved from Crimea over to here. So we can move through a capital fort. That doesn't inhibit our ability to move. Over here, though, we can see there's the capital fort, and there's an actual castle on the coast, a coastal castle here. So we will be able to move through here decently. We can see this is highlands. We don't want to fight them in the highlands. I think what we're going to want to do is actually potentially fight them on their fort in the drylands. So yes, we'll be the attacker. They'll be the defender here no matter what. But it's drylands, so the defender doesn't actually get a bonus. Benign neglect. What's going on? It's something to do with this province. This button right here lets us go to this province. We can either increase local trade power, or tax modifier, or local manpower. Well, we can click on this province and see what are you good at. Well, you have three taxation, 3 production, 3 military, so it's pretty even. It doesn't really. It's not a special center of trade, right? These are centers of trade. Here, Constantinople, and this one over here. This one's not really a trade province, so I think we'll just do a tax modifier. We'll just get some more taxes from that one. Why not? We have some rebellion that are brewing, but they're going very slow. I mean, these guys, Kandar rebel, they're never going to happen. Never going to happen. Athens, the Greek separatists are going to pop up. That's saying 10 years, 7 years, 15 years. Yeah, no worries there at all. Debate over the philosophy of... Oh, are they still upset at the Jewish advisor? No, I think they're... Arabi. Ibn Arabi. This might be somewhere. This might be an external Andalusian scholar and mystic. Okay, so this is just a religious figure in the Sunni culture. Probably not even probably not someone of our country even potentially, not anyone in our government, I should say. So let's say deny the unity of being. There we go. So there we go. We're moving our way up on the legalism track. That's good, right? We're getting good tax modifiers, getting technology discounts, which is really nice. What we wanted to do is we wanted to finish Constantinople. We wanted to get this up to the max because we need this to get embraced so that we can then spread it throughout our country a lot faster. This is something we wanted to work on. So we said that we mostly wanted to spend our military points on this, but I don't know if each of these points is going to get up about 6.66. So if we do this 3 times, we'll be a little short here. We'll be a little short. Yikes. We can't hit it one more time. We have to hit this 2 more times. This is going to cost us like 250 military power, which means I think I'm honestly going to be a little greedy here. Or not greedy, but inefficient. And I think I'm just going to be like, let's just be done with it. Let's just hit it once on the Diplo, once on the admin, we're done. We've embraced the Renaissance in Constantinople. Now, that doesn't mean that our entire country has embraced the Renaissance, but we are very close. We're at 10.6% of our country's development has embraced it because Constantinople is such an affluent province. Constantinople is 10% of our entire country's development. That's how important this province is. Really, really cool. It's going to cost us 775 ducats to embrace. And we could do that a few ways. We could debase our currency, get some money that way. We could take out loans, do it that way. We could just wait till we earn the money. We could be paying war reps while we're at war to make more money per month. Because the thing is, the faster that we, well, we don't really have, there's not really a rush to embrace right this second. But if we embrace, it'll spread quicker throughout our country. And we will get rid of this 8% institution technology penalty. The thing is, we don't have any power right now to actually get technologies, so it's okay. It's actually going to be okay waiting a while, right? Let these powers, we can get up to 1,000 power. Our cap is 1,000. Basically, it's 1,000. It's being modified because of the institution penalty, so it's 1,074, but typically it's 999. That's our cap. So we don't want to, so we don't want to just accumulate points forever. That'd be wasteful, right? If we're already at our cap, we can't earn more points. So we do want to make sure that we tech up before we get to 1,000. But for the most part, we'll just wait till we get to 1,000. That's fine. We'll just wait till we get to 1,000. So here's the problem. Holy cow. Oh, the Pope's here too. I don't want to lose any ships fighting the Pope. I'd rather divide and conquer here. I'm just keeping an eye on our ship health, right? We're just scrolling through. We got some ships that are taking damage. They're in the red. They're going down fast. We're definitely winning the battle, but we have the luxury of time. Little skirmishes where you don't lose any ships don't cost you anything. They just don't cost you anything. We could get the light ships. We could get them sort of... So the Pope's actually throwing their weight around over here in the seas. Albania's done. We could just peace out Albania. No one's going to... Actually, it says that Albania and Serbia are the only people that are going to care about this. Totally fine. Because Albania's not going to exist in a second. So goodbye, Albania. It's going to cost us... We now need to pay the administrative costs to core that. Okay, but we had a claim on it, so it didn't cost any diplomatic power, which is cool. We're building up on Venice, right? So we can get some claims on the Venetian land here, like Crete or Corfu. Corfu is kind of an annoying one. Let's get it on Corfu so that, it's annoying, so I don't want to have to in the war, it'd be nice to take that one so that Venice doesn't have this, like, sort of problematic seaport. And also it's a strait crossing, and it also is a fort. But I think we'll eventually want to get claims on all of their land in this region. So I don't think it's going to stop just there. These troops have now won the war sort of over here. There's no way, there's no way we're going to get military access all the way to the papacy. Let's move these guys over here to kind of get ready and sort of set up a little bit of a... Actually, if we group all these guys up, that'll be 20,000 troops ready to go in this province. So we're just regrouping these guys, ready to attack Karaman. Karaman is not in the war with any of their allies. And we're saving our money, right? We're not spending our money anymore. The fact that we built those buildings was maybe a little premature because we do want to embrace, right? But as we can see, now that we've embraced, it's actually going to be spreading a lot faster near our capital. So it is actually spreading out from this location significantly and very quickly. So that'll actually reduce the cost. If we can actually do some natural spread in these areas, it'll reduce the cost. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the edict here because that costs a lot of state maintenance. So I'm going to reduce the edict because we don't need that anymore. Okay, these ships look like they're ready to go. Let's go beat up these little guys here and sort of dismantle the fleet. This is a much better battle. It just depends on whether or not the Pope's going to reinforce with more ships. Right now, we're certainly winning the battle. I don't see the Pope anywhere nearby. And that should be a crushing defeat. Where are these guys going? Are they going over to here? The Aegean Sea? Okay, we got these guys on the run here. We're going to catch them here. Gulf of Varna. Okay. We're just doing the sweep through here. And what we can do is we can go actually, like, we can blockade the Pope. If we do have naval dominance at this point, we can blockade the Pope. The Pope actually has... okay, that's a little bit sketchy here. Okay, it was a quick battle. We can quickly go into here so the Pope doesn't try to ambush us here. Those guys are like going somewhere else. Yeah, they're just going somewhere else. That's fine. They're going to go hide up here. They're going to go hang out with the Pope, I guess. Is the Pope in any other wars by chance? No, they're just fighting us. Just fighting us. Pope actually liked us too. That's kind of a bummer. The Pope actually liked us. Okay, so I'm noticing our spy networks, right? We're making good progress on our spy networks. So we can get the claim on Theodoro. We actually overdid that a little bit because they only have one province. We only needed 20. We're building up more with Venice. So we can get one on Crete. Because Crete's kind of an annoying fort province out on an island as well. And we can keep building it up to hopefully get one here. We could also try to build up to get one on... Oh no, that's right, Naxos. These guys are a different country. These guys are independent now. So let's build up one on Naxos. Let's use our other one to maybe butter people up. It could be that... Tunis likes us. I mean, Poland, how you feeling about us these days, man? Ooh, Poland has the personal union over Lithuania. Holy cow, Poland's looking good. They have their vassal, Mazovia is a vassal, Moldova is a vassal, and Lithuania is under them personal union. Poland is looking thick. This is all Poland right now. All Poland. So they are definitely a good ally. We need to keep them happy. Let's improve relations with them for a few months. One of our advisors have died. This guy's a land maintenance modifier reducer, so he'll actually save us money. That's good. He's not as good as like someone that gives us actual fighting proficiency, like we had a discipline guy earlier. So discipline guy is very good. Morale guy is very good. But for the most part, saving money right now is really good too. Because for the most part, I think we've won the wars, right? We're not going to be fighting any wars that we're going to have. There's going to be a threat of losing, I guess. So we're just letting our ships repair a little bit, and man, they are damaged. They are certainly damaged. That war is going to be a little bit, right? It's going to be a little bit before the Papal State wants to get out of this war. They're going to continue to try to defend the independence and the... Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. They're doing an amphibious assault on us. Let's get these dudes over here quick. How many of these ships are like ready to go? They're going to land November 21st. How long would it take us to get over there? We'd get there October. It only is going to take us 3 days to get there. That's pretty fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait one more tick. This one's damaged. This one's like super damaged. We're going to wait one more month. We're going to wait till November. The lights are going to swoop in. The lights are catching up. Actually, where are our light ships? Get them grouped up here. I'm going to wait till November 1st, and we go November 1st. So that's a little bit of a, right at the beginning of the month, there's a repair tech. Booyah, let's go. So we're going to catch 7,000 papal regiments, infantry regiments, and we're going to actually sink them, potentially. Potentially. Those guys are not going to be able to land while there's a battle going on. Unfortunately, the Pope is going to be able to... Oh, do we engage here? Oh, it said for a quick second that we'd get an engagement. Nope, they did land there. They did land there successfully. These ships are damaged. Send them home. They're only lightly damaged, to be fair. Does this navy beat this navy? 656 compared to 427? Yeah, I think so. So we have their navy now pinned down. Let's actually go around and actually blockade Rome with the rest of the repaired fleet. They shouldn't have any ships in Rome. I think those are probably all of their ships. We do know that these guys have a few... Oh, wait a second. They're blockading our own area here. Some galleys. Let's go beat these guys up, I guess. National unrest. Ooh, for the entire country. Holy cow. It's not great. That's not great. We have max prestige, so we'll just lose a little prestige. So that worked out okay. National unrest there would have been not so good. We don't have an admiral, but we should have just decisively better ships and just more of them and more repaired, right? These guys' ships should be pretty damaged. So that's going to be fine. That battle's going to be totally fine. If we blockade the Pope enough, and I'm just trying to make sure that we're not getting blockaded ourselves, but if we blockade the Pope enough and efficiently enough, we should be able to get them out of the war, right? That should wear on their exhaustion. Okay, let's go blockade Rome like we talked about. More events popping up. Visit from some shady people. We can get some spy network, or spy network efficiency is actually kind of nice. Construction speed, like we can build these spy networks quicker. There we go. Rome is completely blockaded. The Pope is eventually going to want to get out of this war, but not yet. Not yet. We just got to hold on here. In fact, actually, at the end of the month, it might kind of like update here. Pope, how you feeling? Nope. But we are blockading them. It is their desire to be in this war is being reduced by the fact that we are indeed just sort of sitting here and blockading them and hurting their ability to trade and other sort of negative things. Okay, we have enough to get a claim on these guys. Good. So we pull those guys back since they're just a one province minor is what we call those. I believe we also have enough to get the claim on Venice, so we've now gotten all of our claims on Venice. I don't think there's any more possible neighboring provinces that are owned by Venice. If we go to our diplomatic screen, we can see, click on ourselves. We have a claim here, a claim here, a claim here, a claim here. Now, we could keep working. Oh, Knights. We could get one on the Knights. We have a couple good ones on Genoa, to be honest. But we could get one on Cyprus ourselves. We actually have the navy that we'd actually be able to land on Cyprus, right? Whereas Karaman, it doesn't really have that going on. Interestingly enough, what would happen? We don't have the reason to go to war with these guys yet, but what would happen if we attacked the Knights? Venice would not defend. Cyprus would defend, though, because they're not really being exhausted by the war. They're in a war, but they're not being exhausted by it because Karaman can't do anything. They're just being silly. Venice Venice is super in debt right now. Holy cow, Venice is not doing so well. Venice is not doing so well right now. I don't know what's going on with Venice, but they are struggling. Does Venice start with that province? They do start with that province at the beginning of the game. Yeah, they do start with that one. Interesting. I was just hitting a little time. This isn't really like anything you need to know to play the game. I was just curious, right? So show timeline means, and we can actually run the timeline here and just see how we've expanded our empire right there. There we go. We just ran the timeline. But we can what we can do is we can reset the timeline to see how things have changed. You can see things in France have kind of changed a little bit. Interesting. Burgundy's actually taken some of the English land, the French cores in the north. Kind of strange. England's getting beat up on two sides. Usually France is good enough on their own to beat up England pretty good, but then again, remember, wasn't it France and Castile teamed up? Or sorry, no. England and Castile teamed up, and when France attacked England, it looks like they won, but they like barely won by getting just one province. Burgundy probably took advantage of that and attacked England. And I don't know if England and Castile still have an alliance anymore. They don't. They've lost their alliance. Probably because when Burgundy attacked England, Castile probably dishonored it because they were getting ravaged by France possibly. But France still barely won that war, it looks like. It wasn't a huge victory. All right, Pope, how you feeling, dude? How you feeling, Pope? Enthusiasm's going down here. The enthusiasm is going down. Your war enthusiasm is at 44, and it's saying that's a high. But yet at 37, you're low. So I'm kind of wondering here exactly. Now you're at 38? Am I missing something? 44. This seems to be going down, right? Because we're actively blockading the Pope. It seems to be going down, but it's not even going down not very quickly, that's for sure. I think it's time that we actually just start this war over here. I know it's a little crazy. Our war exhaustion's not really going, it's just staying the same. It's not going up or down. We're not taking any attrition. We're not losing any troops. Our people at home don't even know we're at war. We're at war, but no one actually knows we're at war. You know what I mean? Cost is actually going up to embrace. Over time, this value actually goes up. So as this penalty increases, it increases the cost too. But it should go down a little bit if there is some natural spread in these areas, which it does look like some of these areas are making some progress. They're making some progress. I mean, it'll take 6 years or so for that to happen. We have enough money on hand to actually become the Defender of the Faith, which is interesting. It looks like the Mamluks have already taken on that title. That means that if other Sunni nations get attacked, the Defender of the Faith has to sort of defend them and honor them. If non-Sunnis attack Sunni nations, right? So like if Poland attacks Crimea, we would actually like be fighting Poland as the Defender of the Faith. So we don't really necessarily want that extra responsibility right now. I think we'll be okay. If we attack here, what does this situation look like right now? 19,000 total troops. AQ still only has 2,000 guys. Something is fundamentally broken right now, guys. Not gonna lie, something is fundamentally broken with the patch, but that's okay because we're still learning. We're still going through this stuff. So we would typically expect AQ to have a larger army. We would expect Crimea to have a larger army. We would expect, we kind of expect these guys not to attack Cyprus, but they did because Cyprus should have had a larger army. So there's a number of goofiness going on. But to be honest, guys, I think for the most part, we've been able to talk about a lot of the core concepts of the game. I think this series might actually be kind of over. I'm having fun, though. Playing the Ottomans is kind of fun because you're just so powerful, right? We haven't actually found ourselves in a situation where we've been challenged. And that's why the Ottomans are such a great beginner nation. Because you don't have to attack Austria right away. You don't have to attack France right away. They're farther away. These are powerful nations. Austria, France, Castile, right? Those are powerful nations. Mamluks are powerful, but there's a buffer here. We can actually sort of we can prepare to fight the Mamluks by beating up Karaman, by beating up AQ, by unifying our local region and building up a power base, and then throwing ourselves at the Mamluks, right? I'm sure we have missions to eventually attack the Mamluks, right? For sure. Mesopotamia, that would be... Is this Mesopotamia here? Yeah. Mesopotamia, but I'm guessing... Oh, this is to go conquer all of this, and then conquer all of this, and then presumably conquer stuff up here. Where does it say, like, conquer Egypt? I'm sure we get missions to conquer Egypt. Oh, here it is. Safeguard... So there's something to us... After we consolidate Asia Minor, we safeguard the region somehow by essentially beating up on these areas. And then we'll get an option to move over here to conquer the Levant and then move into Egypt, right? And this will start the big massive wars against the Mamluks, basically once we consolidate this area up here. So yeah, eventually we have a mission tree that just sort of sends us on our way. And by the time, spoiler alert, but we are actually more powerful than the Mamluks. We're basically one of the most powerful countries in the entire world. And as we consolidate this land up here, and if we can do that faster than the Mamluks are about to get stronger too. But if we can actually consolidate this faster and more efficiently, then when we actually collide with the Mamluks, it will actually be a war that will be in our favor. But yeah, for the most part, guys, I think we've kind of looked at everything. We've talked about institution spread and how we have to get this. We have to do what we just did here and pay a bunch of money in order to embrace to remove this technology penalty. So as soon as I hit this button, we no longer have this technology penalty anymore. We need 800 ducats for that. You know what? Let's take 2 loans out. Let's be impatient here. Embrace. Done. We've embraced. We can now get technologies without penalty. That institution penalty is gone. We've embraced the Renaissance. We are golden until the next institution appears, right? Because we got it coming. We got colonialism coming. You best believe it's not going to spawn here. It's going to spawn over here in Portugal or Castile or a lot of the colonial nations, right? Is where that's going to spawn. That idea, that technological hurdle, that sort of philosophy, that thing that can create a jumpstart and it's a gateway to technology, right? It's a conceptual idea, and colonialism brought a lot of new technologies and stuff like that into the world and stuff like that, and that's what that's simulating. Adopt a provincial government system. So we just get some more unrest, but we can get some more taxes. We could lose it. I don't know if we want to do that. I think unrest is really nice to have. We don't want to like provoke our population just to get more money. Our money's doing great. We don't need more money. We're doing great. So basically that's the thing. We're making good money. We have a couple loans, but we'll pay those off in a few months because we're making so much money. We're about to go to war here. We have gotten our first idea group, and that's because we got our administrative tech 5. We've unlocked an idea group. We could pick whatever the heck we want. If we feel like being offensive, which we have been certainly, right? We could go offensive ideas. What the heck? Let's continue to be offensive. We can now spend military power to get ideas. Okay, 400 military power to get an idea. But the more ideas that we get, the cheaper our technology costs in that category get. So it makes sense to now we're focusing on this idea group. We work on this branch. This is like a military technology branch. We unlock these through administrative technology, but they're all different flavors, right? There's administrative ideas, there's diplomatic ideas. And with this, we can now start working on military ideas. And these are going to tie into making our actual technologies cheaper. So we're actually probably going to cool the brakes a little bit on military technology and focus more on these offensive ideas, this branch of our military technology, how we can customize our nation. We chose offensive ideas because it just sounds good, right? Offensive, we could go through here and be like, hey, this stuff sounds good. You know, any siege ability. Oh, that sounds nice. Discipline. We talked about how discipline's so important, right? We haven't explained every modifier in the game, but we've explained like thematically how we can make decisions in this game. And we could have done a lot of stuff. Trade would have been good, right? We're noticing that our trade economy could be a lot stronger. Economic ideas are always good, but our economy is doing well right now. We don't know, or we could double down on it. We could focus more on that. We could focus on religious ideas. We know that there's some religious turmoil going on in this region, right? There's a lot of different things that we could do thematically, but I think it also makes sense that, hey, we're the Ottomans. We're about conquering people, and the offensive ideas are going to allow us to do that more easily, as the name suggests. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this series. I don't know if we're going to actually need another episode. I think we might just start on a new country. So expect another country to pop up. I think Muscovy would be really interesting, as it's actually a good potential new player country in a different region, a different ecosystem, a different set of analysis. And we could also flip back to doing a non-DLC playthrough. So we could kind of do some DLC tutorials. We can do some non-DLC tutorials, stuff like that, so that everybody sort of has different sort of options there, depending on whether or not the people looking to learn the game have the DLCs or not, right? So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Sorry this one was a little bit late to end. I just wanted to kind of clean up some things there. Have we taught the game completely? No. But can someone who has watched this entire tutorial succeed in the game? Playing as... guys, this wasn't a tutorial for Ottomans. This is a tutorial for any nation. Now, you're not going to be able to play Naples that well because Naples has a lot of other complicated things going on and they're kind of a weaker nation, right? We were taking advantage of the fact that the Ottomans are so powerful that we can just kind of do things a little bit more inefficiently and still succeed really, really well, right? We have succeeded massively as the Ottomans because there's a good buffer there. That's why they're a good new player country. Castile's another new good player country. Portugal's really good. Aragon's not too bad. France is pretty good. These other countries have unique situations, though, and unique strengths and weaknesses, so it's not an end-all, be-all. But the Ottomans are a fantastic beginner country as well, and definitely sort of highlight war, right? It gives it like we're just constantly in these little tiny little wars, and that's what they were because we're just so much more powerful than people were fighting. But we get a sense of how that works, how that process works. So the Ottomans definitely are a good recommendation there. But we will continue with more series in the future and looking at other countries. But for the most part, this is a generic tutorial of the game and all. You can apply all the concepts, all the considerations, all the thematic justification that went into every decision we made as the Ottomans. You could still apply that same thought process to any other country in the game. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.